Rasmus Bjerg rører rundt i gryden med ristet ris og rensdyr. Mens det simrer, ser han et program om problemer i den amerikanske regering på sin bærbare. So, the Danish R. In this video we're going to talk about what I call the start R. Rasmus, rensdyr. It's the same R that you have in German and in French and some other languages. So, in case you already speak one of those languages, feel lucky. You don't have to work that much to get this sound right. But even if you already know how to pronounce it, you might want to stay tuned because I'm also going to talk about how the R influences the vowels that occur together with it. Welcome to Mixed Languages. I'm Mick. I have been helping people to master their language goals for around a decade now. And today I'm going to do my best to teach you how to pronounce the Danish start R, ra. So shall we get to it? Physically, how do we do? Let's first look at other R's in other languages. We have the English R, which is ra, ra. Here we have the tongue kind of up and back a bit, ra, or back quite a bit actually, ra. And we say better, rise. And then we have the R from Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, Slavic languages, ra, ra, ri, with the tongue up here vibrating. And then we have Danish and German and French, which is this R. It's called a guttural R, and it's produced down here in the throat. And the tongue, for us to learn it in the most efficient way, is for us to put the tongue down. Like this is my tongue here. I take the tip of my tongue and put it down and back as much as I can, for it to touch down where it kind of is connected to the jaw, whatever it is. So the tongue is down here, and then we produce a sound from down here. And you can try right away if you can do it already. Ra, ra, ri. If you can't, which is the case for many people, you can try to imagine that you're gargling water. You can even put a bit of water in your throat and do it. And at some point you are going to have this sound appearing. Just make sure that you keep the tongue down here in the same position, down and back. And you have to learn it so it becomes effortless, because you have to make sure that you do not say the following sound. Ra, ra, re, ri. This is a sound I hear very often, for example, from Brazilians learning Danish. Ra. It's kind of an H sound combined with this ra sound. We have to take out the H sound. This ha, ha. How do we produce this H sound? We blow out air. Ha. We don't want that here. So we need to make sure we do not blow out air here. We need to have the sound appear from down here, kind of effortless, which sounds easy, but it isn't always. But practice until you get it. And once you get it, you have to make sure it comes every time. And that can take quite some time. It can take days, weeks, months, depending on each person. One way that I recommend for you to become perfect at it is to every morning, for example, and every evening before you get out of bed and when you've already gone to bed, you can try the R with the different vowels. You can say ra, re, ri, ro, ru, re, re, ro. You can also include some Danish vowels, like specific Danish vowels, but you don't need to. But use whatever vowels you know from your language also. It's just important to use a big spectrum of vowels, because the R can be easy with some vowels and difficult with others. So you need to become an all-rounder. And then you can also combine it with consonants. Bra, bre, bri, bro, bru, bry, bre, brø, bro. And then dra, dre, dri, and so on. Fra, fre, fri, gra, ga, ri. And those that are tough for you to pronounce, practice more. Work more on them until they become perfect and automatic. Alright? So that's how to pronounce the R. And now when to pronounce it. In this text we have a lot of examples of the start R. Let's start by looking at R in the beginning of a word, or consonant and R in the beginning of a word. See if you can do it with me here. Rasmus, rør, rundt, gryden, ristet, ris, rensdyr, program, problemer, regering. Alright, so you see, we have it every time we have the R or consonant R in the beginning of a word. Now let's look at simra. In the first video about the end R, I talked about how the ending ER or RE or RER is not pronounced with the articulated R, but with this end R. Lærer, for example, lærer. But here we have the R pronounced. Simra. Because we have a consonant before. Simra. So every time you have a consonant before, we pronounce this R as a start R. For example, in mindre, less or smaller. Mindre. Or in bedre, bedre, better. And in erobre, erobre, to conquer. Erobre. So, okay, the consonant here makes us have to use the start R in the end of the word. And now let's look at how the R influences the sound of the vowels. Rasmus. The combination RA is always going to be Ra. The same vowel sound always. Ra. Ra. You have the word Ra, which means nice, a nice person. Ra. There is one small exception, which is like a loan word from English. Racerbil. Racercykel. Re. Otherwise it's always Ra. Then we have rested. Rested. Here we have something happening which is kind of special. The R makes the I, or in Danish I, take on a sound that it normally cannot have. The I in Danish can have two different sounds. It can be I or I normally, but when we have an R before it, it can be Re. It doesn't have to, because you see, as I put here the nice combination, rested, ris. Ris has the normal I sound, ris, I. And rested has a, rested. This happens sometimes with RI. It happens in the name Christian. It happens in the word rigtig and some other words. So be ready for that. And when we look at the word rensdyr, we also have the same phenomenon happening, where the R makes the E or E in Danish take on a sound that it normally would not have. It would normally never be A, but here it is Ra, rensdyr. That doesn't always happen when we have the RE combination, but often. Ret, which means it can be du har ret, you are right. Ret, it can mean other things as well. Ret. You can also look at here, hente, to pick up, to fetch something, hente, and rende. Hente has the normal E sound, has one of the normal E sounds, hente. But because of the R, the word rende has a ra, has a a sound, rende. Okay, very important also to know that, ra, which happens very, very often when we have RE. Thanks for watching. I hope that the R is now a lot clearer for you. I hope that you can pronounce this start R. Otherwise, practice, practice, practice. And if you, after, let's say, practicing for a month, still not can do it, consider hiring me as a private teacher. I might be able to help you. And well, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet, share the video, write me a comment. Looking forward to seeing you again. Tak for i dag. Vi ses.